What up, Fire Mango? God damn, you jumped onto that one. Faster than usual, too. You were here in record time. I barely started it 1 minute ago, and you're the first one here. Might as well get all this off just so I just can't stop thinking about how much of a scumbag I was when I ended it. I insulted her, cussed her out. I regret doing that. Thoughts? This is the last time I'm going to bring it up so we can move on to a brighter chapter. Did you want to jump on Discord? I'm willing to sit here and listen. I'll talk through it with you. We'll do the man-to-man thing. Ow! Freaking hell. Ow. There's nobody else here, bub. It's just you and me. There's no one else here, otherwise they'd be in the chat. YouTube only counts you if you're engaging with something now. Views don't count. So that's how that works nowadays. Alright, where's the dizzy cord? Yeah, let's go to the dizzy cord. Let go. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
What's up?
Visible. Yeah.
All right.
You know, I wasn't being completely wrong earlier when I said I ended it, but like I was just on a call with my friend and I didn't block her, but now I did. But it was after like I said a lot of things that I really shouldn't have. I don't think.
Well, it depends on what you said, really.
Well, I can't say I'm on stream, that's for sure.
You can put it in the side chat over here.
Okay, let's throw down the list here in the side chat.
Too easy.
Uh
And yeah, don't worry about stream time. There's literally nobody else here.
yeah, I'm just typing. Hold on, it's pretty long.
Yeah, that's fine. I got all night.
Alright. Hopefully you can see all that.
Well, it's mutual, so I guarantee you're the only one that feels bad about it.
But it doesn't it
It doesn't absolve how you feel about it. I know.
well it you know, it feels like I was overblowing the issue, you know? Like
Personally, I don't see
I
it
feel
that
like
way.
I misconstrued a lot of details, you know? It wasn't the full story, but she just started like texting me how she was sleeping with some guy and talking with a friend, and I'm just like, I'm gonna crash out. So,
Well, yeah, that was part of the
you
plan
know,
the
do
whole
you want?
time.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, she was setting you up
I
for
just,
everything she could.
yeah. That's what I try and tell myself. Doesn't change anything.
It doesn't assuage your feelings of guilt.
Definitely not. No.
Yeah, understandable.
Well,
Look, again, honestly, personally, if it's mutual, which, technically it was more one-sided than mutual because she was going to do some shit like this the whole time. If not worse, if she could get in the same space as you.
yeah.
Because, she wanted to lead you into her devious ends. And that's the bottom line. So I think
But
that you let her off easy compared to what she was trying to do to you. The only problem I see with their reaction is that it was more of a emotional one by itself than it was a thought through cooler heads prevailed kind of
Oh yeah, I tried.
reaction.
I tried all that. I just, I
It's damn hard to keep that lid on, ain't
yeah.
it?
Well, oh yeah. Plus, I
Oh
know
yes.
she's at like a friend's house right now and all that, so like, I know she's in like a safe space. So I don't feel as bad considering she was texting me all about it all day.
Honestly, you should
And then whenever
feel
I would, yeah,
nothing for her.
feel stupid. Complete, completely dumb.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, of course.
Ugh.
Again, it's only
Yeah.
partly your fault.
Doesn't feel like that.
Well, it's fully your fault for getting yourself into the situation, right? But everything that happened from you on your side of things was not the cause for
Well,
everything on her side of things. Thus, it's only partly you.
I mean, sorry, I have really loud sneezes, but
It's okay. So do I.
yeah, yeah. Oh, it's like a cannon. Oh, especially like when perfume, like I'm like allergic to some perfumes. So like
Mm,
whenever people walk by me, it's awful. Let me tell you.
yeah, I know about it. Mine sounds like a thunderclap or like I'm trying to
Oh
yell.
yeah, yeah. That's the realest thing I've heard all day. Yeah, I wish I had, you know, didn't flip out
Well,
because so I was before with everyone.
oh
That's why I'm
yeah.
here.
That's why they say youth are full of piss and vinegar.
I was given like a triple dosage. Seriously, I don't know. There was something in me. I just did not. You know, it was like if they're lost for leaving me, why should I care? Just go replace them.
Well, um, you know, again, this isn't
Yeah.
unique to you.
Oh no, I know there's much worse. You know, on both ends.
No, I mean
I
as a
just
young man, right? This isn't unique to you at all.
oh yeah, no. But you know, it's like the one person that seemed to care. You know, I just flipped my lid. You know.
It's a feeling of extreme betrayal.
Yeah, you hit it on the head with that one.
Oh God, do I know a thing or two about that?
Yeah, it's almost like you you try to tell me multiple times, but which it only makes it feel worse now, you know,
Well,
because
the thing is, right, is that unlike the vast majority, or at least that might be changing recently, maybe we'll see, but unlike the vast majority, as of my current knowledge on it, you did not step all the way into the door, but you did open it.
like what do you mean?
Well, when it comes to your involvement with such trouble as a young man.
No, that was pretty much me pushing it the whole time from the start.
Well,
It
yeah,
felt like
you opened the door.
yeah, and then I barged my way through it over and over and over again when she kept trying to shut it on me
No, no, no,
and tell me
no.
it wouldn't work.
No,
Well,
she
she
wasn't
did
trying to
though. I
shut the
have the
door.
screenshot.
She wasn't trying to shut the door. What she was doing, right, is here, let me explain it a bit better to extrapolate it for you. So you opened the door, and what you did is you opened
Responded
it all the
negatively
way,
at first.
right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
what she was doing was like, oh shoot, he came to this door of his own volition. So what she would do is that she could have easily done one thing. She could have shut the door and then locked it.
Yeah.
But she knew you would try to open the door again. She wanted you to. And so she left that door unlocked.
Yeah. And then I opened the handle again, and then it was more receptive that time, and then
And she was playing a door-like game of fetch with you as the poor puppy.
yeah, she called me a golden retriever, which
Yep.
isn't far off. There's a term for it actually. There's like an actual term for people like me who are like that, and it's called
Mm-hmm.
golden retrievers. Yeah,
Yep.
but because I'm just too naive, maybe, you know, maybe I overcorrected.
Naive, yes. In a
Yeah,
way. Yeah, most certain.
well, I might have overcorrected course, with how I've
Yeah,
been trying to live.
it
I feel.
tends to happen with your first time trying to shoot.
Yeah, I. Yeah,
Oh, I know it.
it's like you said, crossing the heart.
Indeed,
I can.
indeed.
Yeah, yeah,
It's almost like I predicted all this shit.
yeah. It is almost. Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It's okay. I don't
I
do it
can't
just
tell if
with you.
that's. Yeah,
You can't tell if it's what?
I I can't tell if it's reassuring or if it's like worse. I don't know.
What do you mean by that, though, specifically?
I mean, reassuring in the fact that you know you knew what you were talking about with it, so you weren't just spouting some bogus. But then worse than that, I
Well,
I chose to not listen fully because thinking with the wrong one.
oh, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. The male is quite the tough beast to master.
Yeah, I really chose the harder starting class. Feels like.
You chose a tank build, right?
Yeah, some kids, call me a troll, but
You're
tank
starting
build
at
will take
level
that.
1
Yeah, yeah,
as a tank, but you're in
yeah,
parties of at least level 20.
yeah. Yeah, it seemed like it. It's God, I regret everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause the whole time I didn't know if it was me just not understanding. I never felt happy, you know, like any time. It was always melancholic in a way,
Oh yes.
and that should have been the first sign, but I don't know. It just never was. It never clicked.
Remember the thing I said about a book being judged by its cover?
Yeah, yeah,
Well, sure, you shouldn't judge every book by its cover, but the vast majority will match the contents.
it's a shame. I love that style of cover, ain't it?
A damn shame. Which I understand it as well. I used to have certain other proclivities when women started changing quite drastically from only being three different types to 200.
Yeah, yeah.
Back in my day, you had three options, right? You
Pretty
had
much.
okay or nice girls, because traditional women were basically out at that point, and mostly dying out very fast. Or you had the modern females, right? Who wore the jeans and, did away with the dresses. Or you had the third option, and that was the hose.
Yeah, we call them bops now. But
Bop's a pretty
well,
old
at least
term,
that's
actually. That's been around
it.
since the
Things come
80s.
back around. Yeah,
So yeah, we're going
circles
we're
around.
going full circle, aren't we?
Well, I
That
mean, it's
circle's
just
gotten real big
what
too.
was I? Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh yeah, I got everything I wanted because me and the boys had always joked about it. You know what I mean? It's like I finally got everything I asked for.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I I did. I got literally every single thing that I wanted was there. But turns out maybe not. Maybe not.
Turns out that turns out turns out the cover of the book was hiding some rotted pages, wasn't it?
Yeah, I it was just the circles, like constantly doing the same thing over and over. The definition of insanity, just grinding me down slowly. I
Mm-hmm.
have not slept in like a week. Just so tired. It feels like there's a 151-pound weight lifted off my chest.
And that always is a nice thing. As someone who's carried over 150 pounds as part of their profession.
Well, I've just done that for weight training, but you get the figure of speech I was using there.
Indeed, indeed. And that figure be
Yeah,
strong.
it do. Yeah, I'm just like I don't know what to think because I got everything and then some. Literally,
Well,
absolutely every check on the box.
well, now you know that every time you look at another book, maybe you should see the contents before you finish your determination of it. If you like the fact that the books are quite often your proclivity towards messy looking covers.
I think it's just because I'm a well, I try and find organization and everything. So I like to organize chaos. And
Mm,
it felt there like I was making progress. You know what I mean? Like it it felt like it was working and then she like the first thing a blind man does when he regains his sight is throw the cane away that has helped him walk his whole life. I felt like that the dumb cane because I got her
well,
out of her house and talking to people and going and doing things.
you didn't get her doing that.
Yeah,
She just
I
allowed
don't.
you to think that you were able to do that for her. See, she knows how to play the feminine game.
Yeah, yeah, she
She
does. She
knows. She knows how to get a white knight to trot his horse her direction. She's played this game a long time and she's good at it.
yeah, and it's the slow devolution into more and more absurdity almost.
Yep.
If you catch my drift, because like night one it was pretty normal, and then just kept getting more and more uh razor blades and impairments.
Pushing the boundaries to see where the limits are going to be set. Or if there
Yeah,
are any.
I don't have any in that regard. I would say still, even after all of that, I would say I kind of like that, but I just can't deal with the rest of it. Unfortunately. Maybe it's because I'm not strong enough.
Are you talking
But
about the rest of the act she was putting on, or what you did at the final hour?
the act
Okay.
of it all.
Well, of
Because
course not.
she started to laugh once I finally questioned her on it.
That's
She's
why I
just like,
always. Yeah. Go ahead. Go.
if you think of me like that, you can leave. There, there's the block button. But and then she boing. uh,
Yes,
I,
sir.
yeah, it's the constant. The door is right there, but you could stay a little longer.
I don't know if you've ever heard me say this about your typical Western female, but I think it'll help a great deal when it comes to thinking about these things. I call them a contradictory, paradoxical existence.
I can think. I think I see where you're coming from. Like how you're gonna compare it. You know what I mean?
What does that elicit in your thoughts when I say that as a descriptor for your typical Western female?
Well, they they want a white knight, as it were, but they don't.
They want
They
a white
want
knight, but they throw themselves at the orc.
a yeah. Yeah. In some cases, yeah, because she sent photos as well. This one's gonna take a while to come back from.
Well,
Oh.
only, and I mean only, if you haven't cleaned your slate.
Well, not. I did to the point where it should be fine. Uh, I don't know if I get the image out of my mind though, but
You
every
will in
I
time.
should be, yeah, but I
For a second there, it sounded like a short circuit just happened. Do I have him turned up? Yes, he's turned up. Excellent. All right.
oh, my mic was muted.
Ah, okay.
Oh, well, because I have like, I'm laying in bed. I got like the mic with like the little button on the back that mutes the headset, and I guess I clicked that on accident.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's cool. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man.
What is it you're referring to when you say you don't know something?
Just lost on the where to go.
So, the next steps and what to do next?
Yeah.
Well, it's pretty simple if you give it a little thinking. You got something from all of this.
I think I did, but I don't think I can like whatchamacallit.
Properly apply it.
Uh I don't think I've recognized it fully. Like I've recognized it subconsciously, but I can't tell you, you know.
Well, here's the thing, right? It comes back to the physical stuff I've told you about before.
Yeah.
I mean, she looks like
It's all
exactly what
one
she
big lesson.
is.
I That's exactly what I wanted. And I got I got
See,
everything.
if you wanted a hoe,
Well, I didn't want that part. The rest of it though, I just wanted something to fix. Like people work on cars, you know, broken engines. But I just kept looking in there and a new thing was broke every time, it seemed. Whenever I would get ahead of it.
or it was already broken on purpose and your work was being undone as you thought you were doing it.
You know, I've been trying to think like that because that's how I used to. It was always I did nothing wrong. It's all them. You know, I was I was perfect in every way.
You weren't
And if you
because
disagreed with me,
you could not recognize that the work was being undone as you did it.
well, yeah.
So
But
obviously you
I
weren't
mean,
perfect, yeah.
well, no. I was going back before that, but the mindset I was in then was just like, well, shoot, that needs to be fixed now. Guess I got to work on that. Guess another night not sleeping. Guess but that also meant more time with her because that's the only time was at like 5 in the morning when the sun started coming up.
Mm-hmm.
But she was like, "Please stay." And then she'd speak in French, and then
What's that one
it,
song? Don't save her. She don't wanna be saved. Don't save her.
it really seemed like she did though.
Well, of course, it's a very fun game for her to play, especially with young, easy to fool boys.
Yeah.
She knows her
Well, and
game. She knows her target, and you walked right into her. So, but
yeah.
again, you can regret everything else. But one thing you shouldn't regret is if the experience has taught you something.
Well, I don't regret that. I just don't know currently how to apply it. You know, like sure, I learned when something's not to touch it with a 10-foot pole, but what if I never get the chance to find it again?
Well, the thing is that if you keep looking for a mess, you're eventually going to
You're
find
gonna
one.
find them. Well, that's true, but I don't know what to look for now. Isn't that the fun bit though? You know?
Well, it sounds like you need a palate cleanser.
Yeah.
Do you have a
Not
passport?
a lot to do that. I ain't got no money.
Mm,
I
okay.
also can't because I got work and school, so I
Very
got
true.
college classes,
Very true.
and then after that, I'm gonna start working for an apprenticeship union or equipment operation. So I basically my next 5 years are kind of railroaded for me, kind of stuck where I am right now,
Well, then I have a
which I'm not.
recommendation.
What might
Since
that be?
you're going to school and everything, right?
Yeah.
Well, I know it may be risky, but you seem like the type who's willing to do the gamble.
I'm a gambling man, I'll tell you that. I love me some blackjack, but
Okay. Well,
I only like it when I can stack the odds in my favor.
are there females in your class?
Well, I don't have any summer classes currently. There was though that I was
Hmm.
considering last quarter, but
Okay. Don't think of them
I'm
as potential
currently
dates.
well, yeah. That's how it was. I'm gonna be honest. That's what I was thinking of it as. You know what I mean?
So don't think of them as potential dates. Right? The first thing you should do is find some way to put that out of your brain. Why?
Yeah.
Because it's going to put a literal, like horror mask on your face every time you have an interaction with them.
Like, what do you mean?
Well, subconsciously, they can feel that shit and it repulses them and it affects them negatively to no freaking end.
But it's like,
So don't think of that about them as a potential date.
okay,
Try to find some way. For everyone, it's different, right? For me, when I looked at them, right, they act like males. So I saw them as other men. Not even joking. Not even joking. I mean, they dress like, you know, streetwalkers dressed back in the day. I'm talking about this last time I went to university. They
yeah,
dress like streetwalkers, and you know they have the female thing, but they feel like men with different parts.
yeah. I can see where you're coming from that. You know,
They walk like
I can
them,
recognize
talk
that.
like them,
Them,
shout,
yeah,
scream, and yell. But it's not men as we actually are. It's the
yeah.
caricature they've made in their brain. The repulsive
Well,
man,
yeah, but you know,
right? So that's how I did it.
yeah.
And it worked
Why,
incredibly well.
you know,
Then again, I've practiced with doing stuff to my own brain and thoughts. So there's that. But
I
what
can barely control.
what that did was it enabled me to have interactions with them that did not bear negative consequence because I was deliberately doing something else entirely, and them being female wasn't a thought. Like a group project. We had a group project for a philosophy class.
Well,
The
I
rest of them, here's the thing, right? The class was 90% female, so I got stuck with 8
well,
of them.
yeah, yeah. Well, I did too, but I showed up to like 4 days in my philosophy class and passed the class with a straight A because all the work was online. So
Well, yeah,
I'm just
there's that
saying.
as
I'm just
well.
saying.
For
Yeah.
me, it's just stuff that came out of the top of my head because philosophy is easy
Yeah.
for.
Well, I get I get the point you're trying to make here because you've said this before. You've
But
said
yeah,
this before.
but here's the
I
thing.
just
Here's the thing, right? That's right in the middle of it. It will enable you to interact with, learn, understand, and be able to observe them, and it not be a salacious affair.
yeah.
And in the end of that, like I've said in other videos and other times I've told people, suddenly I had a couple stalkers, but that's a different story.
Well, see, there's also a very tiny, very minor difference between you and me, and that's the fact that you got Riz, Chief. I ain't got
Apparently
none.
so. I couldn't
Yeah,
exactly tell you how.
I hey, I can say it. You're like oh god, what's his name? Uh, Ryan Gosling, right? What's his name? Like it's a the guy who plays in Top Gun. I'm forgetting his name.
Oh, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where it's like, it's not gay to admit that. We would all do that, right? I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Oh no, don't
So,
worry about me. It's only weird if you make it, bub.
exactly.
If the shoe
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
fit, don't wear it. Simple
yeah, yeah.
as.
So, but like, you know what I mean, right? Like, because I've been called a lot of things by a lot of people. Not a lot of them particularly positive, but that's because I was also intentionally trying to get a reaction out of a lot of people for a lot of my life,
Thus
actually.
being called a troll.
Yeah. Yeah,
Understandable.
you know, it's like I wanted the reaction, but it's also because I didn't just know how to talk to someone. because it seemed like every time I tried, it just didn't work. So I just got mad with everything and everyone,
Like I
and then
am
look where I ended up.
sometimes.
Yeah, except that was me for like, let's see, pretty much, pretty much first year of middle school till like sophomore year of high school,
Ah,
and then
okay.
senior year I just stopped caring about everything. So you know, is what it is. That's that was my choice. So the fruits of my labor, I guess.
Yeah, I get you. I get you. No, freaking.
I don't like giving myself excuses for that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I'm I'm fair with myself on those kind of things. I would say.
Well,
At least I try to be.
there's a, there's a difference between, a self-made excuse, right,
Yeah,
and a a direct reason for things, right? Being able to discern between the two, you learn as you get much older. But the bottom line of it is that we cannot properly provide excuses for ourselves because it is others or other things that would be making the choice of excusing us for it.
I guess so. Yeah,
It's
that's true. I guess.
it's a similar it comes from the fact of the separation of the of the self versus the external, right? So, for instance, taking people who want to be, take leaders for instance, okay? There are some
Yeah,
people who try to make themselves the chosen one. They declare themselves so and try to
that
force
was
everyone else to validate it, right?
that's kind of who I am. I would say.
Well, the thing
I can,
is,
you know,
the thing is that those who are chosen never ever have declared themselves so because others are the ones doing that choosing.
yeah, yeah. But I am a very self-absorbed narcissist. So I just hate myself a little bit more than I do everyone else, I guess.
Do you know what narcissism is?
I could probably tell you the one-to-one definition, but currently I can't really say. It's I can't think right now.
Here is the short form of narcissism, right? Narcissism is believing yourself to be God, therefore you're above all others. It's linked directly to egotism, and
And
it
my
is
favorite
what
sin of them all.
and and um and it is what, right, is directly, and I mean directly, represented by your typical Western female that says they are all a 10. That's narcissism.
Well, I think I have it in the more subtle way where because I know enough that you can't just go screaming from the high heavens, "I am God," and you shall bow before me, because that doesn't work. You learn that one pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to learn to start, getting others to do things for you, and then you feel better than them, and you just stop caring about them, and then you replace them when they figure it out, and you just constantly need people to, I don't know, make you feel seen, because I feel drowned out by society. You know, here I am doing it again, I guess, in front of no one. But
Well,
you know,
the thing is that in some way, it is true everyone wants to be special. Everyone does, in some way. I mean, it would
yeah.
hurt me. It would hurt me if my son suddenly said he didn't love me anymore.
Oh well, yeah, yeah. I
That
feel
will.
that's
Oh,
slightly different though. Yeah, that's going nuclear. That means you're really messed up. But
I mean, another thing, right, is that it would suck for my son if I told him I didn't like him,
clearly never met my dad.
right?
Yeah.
Or we'll take other people for examples of this as well. Someone who is, well, okay, these don't exist anymore that I'm aware of now. The public education system's trash, it seems, and full of it. But back in the day, teachers, right? There were,
Well,
back,
I had I would say I can tell you all about that, but since I was in the high cap fast track route, I never I kind of got I would imagine a similar experience of sorry to completely cut you off.
oh, it's
Just
fine.
continue.
But back in the day, there was actually more teachers that were doing the job not as their way to the rat race or their way to win in life. They wanted to be doing something special, and that special something was teaching the children of others and helping to raise the next generation. And to those teachers, right, they wanted to be special in the capacity of contributing to the future in a greater number and amount, which is children. Educating young minds, filling them with the knowledge and basis necessary to try and go forth in the world and see what would stick. And if they did a good job, they felt great about it. They celebrated. Hell, I've been to some of them. Back in the day,
Yeah, it's
teachers and
actually
kids could hang out a bit.
yeah, actually I go see my my third grade teacher.
Mm.
Actually, I just saw her like a couple months ago when I, you know,
Hmm.
finished up.
Well,
You know.
that's another way of it, right? But then there's also
Yeah.
those who use religion to make themselves special by becoming some kind of
Pastor.
evangelical preacher.
Yeah, like I don't know if you've covered this yet, but
Like
the
Joel Osteen.
yeah, or the stuff going on with the payment processors right now in like Steam.
Oh yeah, oh man, that's
You
if
need to cover
gamers
that actually. That would be some big videos
if
if you sat down and covered that.
if gamers don't, well, I've already tried to engage with a lot of big like gaming people and contributing my shit to theirs. I'll do something about it, more about it later on the channel directly, because YouTube hates it when I do the political thing. Um,
Well, that one's inherently political because the people who has the payment processors is doing it for political purposes. So
they just need an excuse to try to gain more power, right, and to exert it.
yeah, exert their
So
beliefs. You know,
yeah,
yeah,
it's all an agenda, and it's
I'm
collective shout that's behind it. Those frickin'
yeah,
harpies.
I'm you know I'm just completely against internet censorship because it should be the one place where information is free, but that's clearly not true.
Oh yeah.
Obviously,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
It's weird. It's weird growing up with it because, you know, I think it's the greatest tragedy that I was taught growing up that Wikipedia, a free encyclopedia of all of our knowledge, was a horrible source that could not be trusted, even though it takes rigorous, extensive testing to be able to even edit articles on there or suggest edits.
Mm-hmm.
That is truthfully one of our greatest, I think, the greatest downfall of public education, the greatest failure, is teaching people that a free encyclopedia of all of our knowledge was trustworthy.
Yep.
Oh.
It's untrustworthy and called so
But
because it was a equalizer. And if you could just gain any information and all information from sources you can verify and proof yourself, which then makes them authoritative for you, it takes away the power from those who see themselves as the sole and only arbiters of what should be considered knowledge.
that's very true.
And that's the vast majority of all who claim to partake in academia. You can go
Yeah.
back even further and how
Why?
they and the lies about the Nazis being far right.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, they weren't, but they were inherently conservative leading, but they weren't far right because that's a different thing entirely.
Entirely so, because the farther right you go, the less government you have.
Exactly. Yeah.
You go straight to anarchy.
They weren't right. Yeah. It is wrong to say they weren't right leaning. Obviously, they were conservative, but they weren't the extreme. Each individual person for themselves.
Well, what is conservatism?
That I cannot answer currently
Well,
because
think
I
about
haven't.
the word. What
Well,
does it
conservative.
mean to conserve something or to be conservative?
Use what you have. Keep what you have. You don't need more. You have what you have. They have what they have. You stay out of each other's stuff.
When you are going to conserve something, you're trying to keep,
Save it.
maintain, and sustain it, like conservation of water.
You should have put conservation of environment.
Conservation of
Not to hit you with that.
environment as well. Sure, why not?
Actually.
Because that's part of it, right? Water is one of the most
Yeah,
crucial
yeah,
parts of the environment, so it is implied.
yeah, yeah.
But that's what that means. But that can happen left and right. Did you know that there are conservatives on the left?
Oh, yeah, yeah. You can be conservative and have a liberal viewpoint.
Thing is, being conservative doesn't mean right or left.
Well, yeah,
It's a
because
belief
it's a
in a certain
separate.
action.
Yeah, the
So,
same thing
yeah.
as being liberal isn't technically right or left because it's the inverse. I would argue at the very least.
Well, liberal is left because it comes from the idea of the liberation, right? Which comes more from the
Yeah, yeah.
compilings of well, anyway, you get what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. But I know you can look for the mirror to uh conservative values. I just don't know the word because I have been
think about
out
it
of
this way, right?
everything for a while.
When you liberally do something, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, generally it would be like I don't know. I don't know. Can't say.
If I am being very, if I am being
Oh, you're being
liberal
liberal
with the
with
salt,
resources. Yeah, you're adding a lot of it. You're you're dishing it out a lot.
Oh yeah.
You know. Yeah.
I'm not conserving shit, am I?
Yeah. No, it's the opposite. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Right? Which is why liberals are hated by leftists as well, because pure hardcore leftists are deep conservatives of leftism, the ideology.
Yeah. It's like you can have liberal right wingers and conservative leftists. You know, as ironic and
So
hypocritical as it might sound to the average person.
there's conservatives on both sides.
Yeah.
The only reason why conservative is used as a dirty word by the left is because it's easier to point out conservatives on the right because they are the exact opposite of conservatives on the left.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty big revelations, aren't they?
Well, I'm kind of like I'm locked out. You know, I'm sort of locked in, but you know, we're mostly locked out.
So the thing is,
It's
right, is that,
yeah.
when it comes to, all of that, academia, I mean, think about it. Who are the ones that told everyone what everything was labeled as when we started the liberal international economic order, right? After World War II?
Teachers.
It was the academia. It was the institution of education. It was those in charge of the sum total of human knowledge up to that point in time. And they chose to pull the wool over everyone's eyes, right? Deny the evidence of the written actual ideology of such groups to remove them from their association when they actually were part of the same exact coin the whole time and on the same side of it. That's the reason why initially the Soviet Union and the Nazis got along so incredibly well. They believed in all the exact same things, but they implemented it slightly different. However, just because one duck, right, decides to dive to get the fish, and one duck decides to wait for the fish to be close, then snatch him up, does it affect the end result of them both?
Well, no.
Same exact creature,
Same
slightly different methods
fish.
to achieve the same aim,
Yeah, they might get it at different times, but you know,
right? And yet,
it's just the way you get there.
and then and then at the end of it all, you find out they're all the same thing.
It do be like that.
Hmm. Thus why I always had
Hmm.
a very healthy skepticism of anyone teaching me shit about history and then getting mad when I did my own research. Thankfully, back then, they still provided the correct and proper tools. And they just assumed that they could, by their genteel pretense, convince all of us combined to simply follow along. And most have.
Dude, that's deep.
Well, I
we are
mean,
not. We're
I,
not locked in.
I started seriously contemplating things around my first divorce when everything was the exact opposite of what I was led to believe when it came to life, existence, thoughts, psychology, philosophy. Everything was turned on its head because I'd done everything right, according to all others. And yet,
Yeah, that's me right now. I felt I felt like I did everything correctly, by the books. Everything that I was supposed to do was nice. I only broke one time before. That's because would not leave me alone. But it, I did my best, and it just didn't matter.
kind of like the
Which,
uh, I'm trying to think of a very simple one to use here because there's a shit ton that we could
yeah, we
kind of
could
like
use, yeah.
how they said for the longest time that using formerly what was used as industrial lubricant to fry your food.
Flanker food. if you get the joke. But yeah. Since that's making rounds on the, I feel like a real OG, watching that as that came out now. Oh, call me young now. Jeez. It's weird because I now have the highest seniority at my job because everyone left for the summer.
hmm
So it's like I am now young. It means I'm getting a grand total of 30 hours as opposed to like the 10 of everyone else. And then they're also doing
Hey,
budget cuts because it's the government. Yay!
yay!
So my supervisor is now taking 10 of my hours. Yay!
Hooray!
Hooray! I don't know how that saves them any money, but yep. Mhm. Mhm. Gotta love the government. Mhm.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's so many examples of this.
Yeah. Yeah, there is. There is.
I mean, look. I don't know if you know about RFK.
Uh, I think I've heard you guys talk about it before.
Robert, uh, um, Robert Kennedy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I've heard you guys talk about him, but
He's the new head of the it's like the Department of Health, essentially, right?
yeah.
It's like Department of Health and Human Services. I always forget about it because it's the one that's
Yeah.
given the least amount of attention, especially by me, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
because just watch what you eat if you can, and know what stuff is something you shouldn't consume. That's
Yeah,
not
I
too
wish I could have
terribly
learned that
hard to
earlier.
do, right? But anyway,
Well, if you thought it.
for the
Well, you would be
longest,
surprised, as considering the guy sitting across from you isn't exactly. Yeah. Anyways, continue.
well, yeah, for the longest time, right? He was called a kook, conspiracy theorist. Evil, bad. Everything under the sun. Druggie, crack addict, cocaine head. All them things. They discredited him. They conspiracized him. Call him a conspiracy theorist, and they CIA psyoped him, and they tried to give him throat cancer. They threw the goddamn world at that man. But just like his unbreakable guns, because he still got them, even though he's not too far from aging me. Not too terribly far. But even through all of that, he was vindicated at the very end, having been proven right about it all. Everything he's ever said. Not to mention, while they were doing all of that, he was still winning court cases as a lawyer and an attorney against Big Pharma and against Big Health and against Big Ag. for poisoning people on purpose. But forever, all the things he was talking about, they said were perfectly fine for you. And every
Yeah.
teacher and every professor and every single person supposedly serving the pursuit of scientific truth, they all repeated the same line, didn't they?
Yeah.
Doctors did it, nurses, medical
Yeah.
professors, all of them. They all followed the herd. And at the end of the day, we're all proven entirely false.
They were.
It's no wonder
Yeah.
that, people's trust and confidence, not only in academia, not only in news, not only in, all that stuff, but also in the medical industry, the health industry, and the agricultural industry, and the food production industry. And Big Pharma has all been literally chopped down entirely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it turns out they were making fools of us all.
Yep.
And that pretty much sums up, the final focal point of all of that pretty well, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
There's
Yeah, I
a
don't.
there's part of an old saying I remember, and it's trust not what you hear, because it's like trust not what you hear because others can make sounds to deceive you. Trust not what you're shown because they will make false pretense before you. Trust only what you yourself can see, touch, feel, and hear directly when the source is near. Basically, it comes down to you ensuring that the diligence is done before you make your conclusion about any of them. It used to be that we could trust science.
Well, I think we still can to an extent. No, not as much as before.
We
But I
can
think
trust
also,
what has been proven and established beyond refutation and dispute, separate from those who profess to be its arbiters, right? But we cannot trust
well,
the arbiters themselves.
medicine has always been like that. Objectively, though,
What's up?
because medicine has always been like that. Objectively, though,
Been like what?
because you don't know if something works until you implement it on a wide scale, because you don't know the side effects for certain people, and that's how medicine was practiced for thousands of years. It's really funny because chimpanzees had better grooming habits and medicine than medieval peasants. Like, unironically, like a chimpanzee can perform a better full body medical inspection on a human than a medieval doctor could.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fascinating,
But
truthfully.
here's
But
here's the
that's
thing, right? Do you know why they still call it the practice of medicine?
well, yeah, because it's not solved, you know, and there still needs to be experimentation done.
Because there is
You know,
constant practice to it, yes.
yeah, because you can't expect to perfect something, and I I don't completely trust big pharma because I'm not dumb, but I do feel, especially when the COVID vaccine started to come out, I felt that was a little ridiculous. Like, because we completely eliminated polio with the
Mm-hmm.
vaccine, and had we done that again, then there would have been a lot of life saved for because people were being unnecessary and stupid. So
Instead, it was all one giant lie, taking advantage of more giant lies. And they
well,
finally stacked the cards way too high, and it all came tumbling down.
yeah, had they just done what they did for the polio vaccine and get everyone together and they just make one vaccine and then boom, everyone gets it. You don't get a choice. Everyone gets it. Call that that maybe is it unconstitutional though if you're protecting someone's life? That's what I'm saying.
Yes. Do you
Well,
know
if it's for the
why?
greater if someone is choosing to abstain from it and that is actively affecting the greater good of everyone, then
Do you know why?
I would argue. Well, continue.
Because you are subjecting the minority to a loss of their freedoms to the majority.
Yeah, in this instance, you could view it as such. But I'm not saying you could say this could be a stepping stone, like how what's going on with the payment processors onto censorship of the internet. And you could say, well, that could be a stepping stone for future precautions to be taken care of, even though this one is a widely agreed upon like thing. I get what you're saying, but I think in this very specific instance, I do think in general that is completely true. However, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh reference to a popular YouTuber. I think I'm trying to make this sound coherent and not like I'm really really tired and on a huge energy crash. But um like yeah, I'm literally laying here with my eyes shut. I can't keep them open. But I think it's unconstitutional for you to actively choose to harm others
And if someone chooses
by
not to have a vaccine that only the disease would affect them, how is that them choosing to affect the others who will get the vaccine?
well, because oftentimes when people get sick, where they go, the doctors, even if they didn't choose to take the vaccine then they'll start complaining about symptoms,
Well,
thinking it's something else.
of course, that's what hospitals are for.
Exactly, but you're over encumbering the hospitals for because you know, I think that entire situation, we did it with the polio vaccine, and I don't think anyone complained about that because oh no, oh wait, polio is a horrific disease. It's just because COVID wasn't affecting everyone, I would say. Because COVID wasn't as deadly as polio or as polarizing. I think that's why it wasn't as successful, in my opinion.
Not to mention
If
back
if it
then, right? The average collective, uh, um, knowledge of people was much lower. So a greater amount of
sure,
people didn't have access to the same information as everyone else does now. So back
yeah, but
then,
there's no
right?
no recorded anything bad happening from the polio vaccine, to my knowledge, that I've looked at.
I would recommend you look again at some point because it is very interesting. But anyway, the thing is, right, is that if the vaccine's gonna protect you and keep you safe from this disease, why does it affect you? Someone else chooses not to have it.
Because they're actively choosing to throw their life away. You know what I mean? Like
Just like soldiers
it's
choose to go die in battle.
well, I think it's closer to how suicide is illegal, technically.
Well, sure.
I think that could be considered, you know. I think the stream's already demonetized at this point. I would
It
imagine
always
I
has
would
been.
imagine
It's never
it
been
always has
monetized.
been monetized.
You know,
Never has.
this is the moment where it's the astronaut behind the other astronaut with the pistol.
Yeah, never been
It's
monetized. Never
demonetized.
has.
Always has
Never
been.
has been.
But
We're on
yeah,
a higher
no.
plane of existence right now.
So
Nah, but
the thing is, right, is that if you've already taken measures to where people choose to protect themselves from this thing and others do not, but those others not choosing to get the same thing, but the others are protected from them, where's the bridge of that gap?
well, because vaccines aren't perfect. There is always, you can never 100% guarantee, so you're just increasing the chance for exposure.
Mm-hmm.
I will say though, I can omit that the mask thing was not technically a proven thing. There was no actual backing behind that as came out. However, it did actually probably help. Because if you look in places like Japan, where if you're sick, you wear a mask and you distance yourself, they tend to have a lower. And Tokyo is way more packed than somewhere like New York.
Lower,
But if you look at the
yes,
rate in which, yeah,
but is it
it's
zero?
oh no. But I think what they were trying to do there is implement of culture, which you see more of nowadays.
So
Where if you're sick, you'll wear a mask and social distance,
here's how it works over
which is
there,
courteous.
right? Is that it is part of that. Yes, part of it is being courteous and being mindful of others. But everyone understands it's only something that reduces the chances of you affecting everyone else. They know it doesn't
Exactly.
mitigate it entirely. However,
Well, no.
right, people are not deathly afraid of it because, on average, it's a different culture that's based more upon fitness and everything else compared to ours.
Yeah.
It is illegal to be obese in Japan.
Not for that specific class of people, and I think we both know who I'm referring
For
to.
a certain particular type, yes. But
The
that's a different thing and that also ties into it. I get what you mean. Yes.
yeah,
But
the group of people that expanded so large that they had to create a term for them. Yeah. Anyways.
but yes, at the end of the day, right, there's a different thing there versus the rest of us.
Exactly. Yeah.
Um, because here, the sum total knowledge of the average person is much, much lower. And so is their comprehension and
Yeah.
understanding capacity as well. People
Yeah,
thought
it
you could eat
does.
Tide Pods and it wouldn't do anything to you.
The fact that was, oh, I did that when I was, oh, you brought back that memory. Yeah, I
Or the
did that.
fact that people thought a spoonful of a powdery, pure substance would
Hey,
not
guess
choke
what?
you to
Guess what I
death.
did?
You
Guess what I
probably
did?
did both, didn't
That
you?
as well.
I know. I'm particularly caught up on your generation, but yeah, right. So the thing is, at the end of the day, yes, it very much is unconstitutional to make it compulsory to do something to yourself that, regardless of you doing it or not, will not affect others, dependent upon they themselves individually and their health.
Sure, but I do think there should be some sort of identification,
Is there?
at the very least.
Well, now we get into the armbands
Yeah.
with
Well,
the Jewish
yeah,
symbol of David on them.
I think that's too very. I understand. I can. I'm not dumb. I don't. I'm
That's
not gonna
and by the
completely.
way, that's not the penultimate conclusion of that.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people would immediately jump
It's
to
not.
that's what you're trying to say.
It's not even
No,
the
I
extreme
get what
either.
you're trying to say. I get what you're trying to say on that, but and I do see the correlation, but causation does not equal correlation, as the
Oh,
pseudo intellectuals would say.
another lie I've got to
Another
help you break through right now.
no, no, that's you see how I use the term pseudo intellectual,
Oh, okay.
pseudo
So you're attributing
pseudo
it.
intellectualism. Yeah,
So you're attributing it to the. You're okay. So you're attributing it more towards the functional
the
deceit of said such versus the actual application.
exactly.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, that's we've created a term for it now of pseudo intellectual, and all of those very very similar sayings are now part of pseudo intellectualism, which is
That's good to hear.
the slightly above average population, but that haven't quite hit the it's the weird 2% between 97 and 99
Yes,
where people are on their way to being quote unquote enlightened
pretty much.
or intellectuals. But
I
it's
love.
a phase you have to go through to get there, because you have to realize that it's false. Everyone at some point who becomes an intellectual had to be a pseudo intellectual,
Well,
because you had to be wrong,
what's
just
what's
objectively.
um there's a problem, right, with people thinking intellectual means enlightened or smart or wise.
Well, yeah.
Because
That's why I said in quotes enlightened.
okay.
I did the air quotes, but I don't have my camera on.
I get
You
you.
can
I
tell
get you.
we are functioning at maximum capacity right now.
And yet you're
I did the
keeping
air
up.
quotes.
And yet you're
Well, yeah,
keeping
we're
up.
keeping up. We're
It
keeping up.
means you have a greater capacity than you think, doesn't it?
It's more so I'm always tired, so I never figure it out. But I prefer it this way.
You have a much greater
Anyways,
capacity than you think you do, which is
oh, I don't think you. I realize it. I just choose not to, because it's easier to live like this in all reality.
that's very true. It's easier to go eat the slop with the pig than it is to venture outside the
Well,
pen.
it's easier to be the naive fat guy. You know what I mean? That's that's a lot of people perceive me. I know,
But
not
yeah,
dumb.
you know, at the
Yeah,
end of the day, right?
yeah,
Um, the thing about the individual freedom is that if you are going to allow for such, then the trade-offs must be accepted as part of the deal. But more often than not, when the implementation of the Constitution as such has been so, human flourishing actually became a word from that.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we may be part of a society. We're barely part of a
We may.
community, right? Nowadays, community is very much lacking nowadays, but it's still kind of around because you live in neighborhoods, so it's considered community physically so because of proximity. Not so much the
Yeah,
familial connection directly, but we may live in groups, we may exist in spaces where there's many of us, but at the very end of the day, the sum exact total of all of this that contributes towards the forward progress of humanity is always going to be started and determined from the individual level first.
Very true.
Thus, why the Constitution, right, and things being unconstitutional has always been, and for as long as the USA exists, always will be, one of the penultimate things to constantly be safeguarded.
Yeah. I totally was listening to everything and wasn't going back through the stream to just make sure this one didn't get more views than the other one. Because your most popular stream that does not involve Nihila is conveniently the one from like, well, it's the one where your son is the one playing. That's the third most popular one.
Oh,
And then the
yeah.
fourth and fifth are Nihila. And then the one right below that, your top one, is with me, you, and S SC a bit of a oh no SLC JD.
SLC,
Yeah,
JD for okay.
that I actually went through and I because I go through and I rewatch the streams because I like to put my ideas out like
Mm-hmm.
on here live, and then I
It's
like
a
to go back through
it's
and
a very good way to have notes because, right, reading takes more processing, but everyone has an easier time listening,
especially when it's yourself,
right?
because I I have a very similar internal voice than an outside voice that I often talk to myself like a lot, a lot. I don't know if that's me being crazy, but I don't know. I don't think so.
Actually, here's the thing is that it's called an internal dialogue. But
Well, yeah,
there's
I have an internal
also,
dialogue, but it turns to an external dialogue a lot of the time.
yes, I was going to get to that one. There's also that because it is a internal and external connection. Quite often, those who are able to speak to themselves and walk themselves through things, who are addressing their subconscious, have a much better mental health, we'll call it that, than those who either don't have an internal dialogue or refuse to speak to themselves, period.
Yeah, that's true.
Because while you're
I
working
guess.
through all your stuff, right, and addressing it internally and externally, they either don't have that capacity or something prevents them from conducting themselves as such and thus stunts their ability to even understand themselves.
Yeah. Oh, I also just noticed that streamer mode hasn't been on for the Discord this whole time. So you might as well just rename the stream to okay, let's see. What's something catchy that, is like Fire Mango's big something.
Um,
I know what I want to say, but
Discord user
can't.
crashes out on a female or something like
Oh yeah,
that.
there we go.
young Gen Z Discord user crashes out on over a female or something like that.
Yeah, there you go. That'll get all the views and get the channel canceled.
Or we end up like whatever podcast and blowing up.
I'd rather not, because
Okay.
I got two moms, so I would rather. I kept all of this out of my personal life. Nobody else knows this.
Well, no one's gonna find you just from a username on Discord.
Except the fact that I use the same username for literally everything. All my social media accounts, all of
Same
my
here. What a
all of my
coincidence.
I'll just say it because you can find passwords pretty easily. So all of my passwords use the same thing. You know what I mean? Like,
So do mine. Isn't that funny?
yeah, ain't that a kick in the head? It's right here, folks. There ain't much to me. I ain't got nothing linked to anything. I don't
the
got any money, so.
the hilarity there, right, is that my password is Latin.
Oh, mine's just my name.
All right,
To be honest.
mine is all. It is Latin, and it is a type of word, salad in Latin, that only those who would know very specific niche things would ever
Okay,
even
is it
come close to guessing.
is it ancient Latin or modern ancient Latin?
No, it's ancient Latin, like
Okay,
ancient
so it's
directly
proper. It's
from like
proper. It's proper.
from
Proper
like
ancient recipe.
from some of the preserved tablets and stuff, ancient Latin.
Okay.
I
What
was so
culture?
proud when I was able to put it all together. It was great. I was like, "Damn, man,
Are
good
we
luck with
talking?
this
Are we
shit."
talking? Are we talking? So no. I love this kind of stuff. So are we talking a pre-Roman Italian Latin culture?
Closer to that, yes.
Closer to that. So before Rome took over, like the Samnites and all of that. We talking
Um,
close to then?
it's within a range of about a few hundred years.
Okay. And a salad specifically, right?
No, I called it a word salad because it technically is such.
Oh, it technically is such.
Yes. I mean, if you and I say in English, like where. Let's see. Let me do a sentence string that is a word salad. Where is the time to be in that space on that place for which I will figure out the next time to come back from this space and this place for which I will receive nothing but go and get something.
Hold on, let me type this just in case I'm close. I feel pretty confident in this one.
Of course you do.
Oh, of course I do.
Nope.
No?
No.
Really?
No.
Is it the other variants of it? Because that's the closest thing to like a salad I could think of.
You're taking this way too directly.
Oh yeah, I'm very direct as you can tell.
Of course. Of course. You have yet to learn the ways of the wizard.
Subtlety. Hey,
Right.
that's why you know I'd much rather be comparable to that of a supernova than a sun slowly dying out.
A supernova or a quasar?
I I literally took a class on this. I'm forgetting. I'm not even like on anything right now. I'm just tired.
Well, yeah,
Um,
your brain is on something, but it's nothing you have ingested.
well, the like
That drip be strong, I swear to God.
the 600 milligrams of caffeine may beg to differ, but
Oh, that's a heavy crash to come out from.
I literally line them up in the morning and just go 1, 2, 3, 4, done.
Mm-hmm.
And those Irish genetics help for something, am I right?
I just take red pills.
Oh yeah. Drink 5 5-hour energies and enter the forbidden 25th hour of the day, also known as heaven. Those things taste awful, by the way.
Oh yeah, they've always been crap. I've
You
only
know, I
ever
found
tried
I
one, and
I
it's
found these
pretty.
ones that are like pouches, like Zins,
Oh
except
yeah,
it's caffeine. Yeah, I found them on Amazon. I think I can't remember if I bought them before. I don't think I have because it would freak my
are
you
they
know
called
my
grind?
family's. Uh, that might be like a brand of them, but I know there's just like generic ones you can get.
Yeah, there's a military one they came out with. I
Oh
want to
no,
say
I
about 5 years ago. It's called Grind or Grinds or some shit like that. It's in like a
no, there
little
was
dip
like
can.
yeah, it's in one of them.
Same shit probably, just different
Yeah,
brand.
probably just
Yeah,
different
yeah, you're right.
packaging. Yeah.
Probably different brand.
Well, it like they quote unquote originated off TikTok Shop. You know how it is, but then Amazon got their hands on it. You know how it is,
Of course.
and then everyone got their hands on it. You know how it is. It is what it is. Hey, it's what we got to do because that's a whole lot cheaper than anything else.
I'll stick with my red pills. They're easier on the body too, even though it's basically a whole capsule full of just raw, pure, supercharged caffeine.
Oh no, one of my buddies was he was at a concert. I was talking with him at work today. He was at a concert all of last night, and he was
Mhm.
just like, he went in there completely sober, and he's like, I regret it because it was I forget the name of it, but there was a bunch of like drunk white girls. You know how it is,
Mhm.
and they were just like vomiting everywhere. Apparently, he got one of the nicer sections as well. Because there was only two people, the two people in front of him doing it, and they took a TikTok of them doing it. You could see him in the video, just like watching in horror. The funniest thing ever. Oh my gosh. Uh,
As you do, of course.
yeah, he's like, never again. I'm like, yeah, that's your own fault, man. And he's like, well, I was going with some like my Christian friends, and I'm like, again, that's your own fault, dude. Do
Yeah,
not complain to me that that's who you chose to go with,
right.
and that's your experience. And apparently, it was like 90% women. So like, even in like the male bathroom, there was like three to four like women to every one dude. He was like trying to use the urinal, and people just came up to him just like slobbering drunk.
Yep. Drunk,
Yeah.
high, freaking looking to
Yep.
ride.
Amen.
I know all about that. A giant
Yeah,
red
I do
flag
try
is
and
if they're a party girl at all, giant red flag.
yeah,
Now there's a difference between being fun,
yeah, yeah,
right,
yeah.
and
Well,
being a party
I
girl.
try and stay out of that though. Like as you can tell, because if I really wanted to, you know what I mean. Like I could just.
Yeah, just go to like a Burning Man or something, get a tent,
Yeah, pretty much.
and just wait.
Like
I'm
yeah,
not even.
exactly. Literally. But professionals have standards. People, I used to when I was actively doing theater, I could do a pretty good Aussie accent. I've since lost it because there's this thing called
Yeah,
puberty. Yeah, but and I just stopped doing it.
but yeah, freaking.
But yeah, I think I would like to say I still have standards.
Speaking of which, this reminds me of a buddy of mine. Well, a younger fellow, much younger. He was a new Dick Cherry who was having a hard time with women. Very hard
This guy
time.
me for real. This guy's
Uh,
me for real, for
you
real.
could relate to him very easily, I believe. Just a slightly
Yeah.
different generation, but he's like your precursor to the male loneliness epidemic, honestly. But
It's really funny.
so he's having problems at the unit, and he's driving the team crazy. He's driving our leadership crazy. He's good at his
As you
job,
do.
sure, But the dude was just full of it all the damn
Yo, this
time.
literally sounds just like me.
And so one day I'm like, well, fuck it. Like, he comes to me because this is in between divorces, by the way. So I'm going on like something like
Oh,
a
okay.
few dozen, dozens of dates in a month. And, he's trying to get me to like give him, what he asked as it was. Like, it was either game or he was like, can you tell me the tricks or the moves for like pickup artist or whatever? That's what he thought I was. And all I did was just talk to women. That was it. But he thought there was something more to it, and he was desperate. He was like, "Okay, man, look, how the fuck do I get from here to there where you are?" And I'm like, "I don't fucking know, bub, but I got a suggestion to make." And he's like, "Give it to me, Sarge." I'm like, "All right. You ever heard of Burning Man?" And he's like, "Oh, now this is before, it was very well known." What Burning Man was, right? There was still very quite the niche side of everything about it, and so I was like, all right. It just so happens that this next month there's going to be a Burning Man. Also, we're getting extra leave because of other circumstances.
Yo, this guy
So,
literally just sounds like me. I'm gonna be honest. I'm keeping a buck 20, chief.
I asked him. He was very young at the time too. Yes, he was.
Yeah,
But I asked him.
probably.
I was like, if you can go get laid, is that going to help you? Thankfully, he was honest and he was
No.
like, yeah, yeah. And I was like, all right. If that's what you're looking for, here you go.
Well, we're slightly different in there.
Here you
If
go. Here's how you get
yeah.
there. I put together a whole notebook about all the things to avoid because I knew a thing or two about it. Um,
your
and
own your old staff sergeant, so
and on top of it all, I said, look, we got 6 months till the next test. So if you accidentally do shit, you better inform me. Let me know all of that you think it was, right? And we're gonna
and
work
get
your
it cleared
ass
out.
through it, right?
Yeah.
Because obviously, he was pretty straight laced as a kid, but still, he. But anyway,
Just like me, for real, for real. Anyways.
so he goes to Burning Man. He stayed there the whole time. His first go, I was like, "Holy shit, kid!" I
Hey
mean,
man, you'd be
damn.
surprised. You'd be
But
surprised, okay?
But I was only surprised because I would have thought that he might have stayed a couple days and then been like, "All right, I'm good. Let's go." No, he was there the whole
No,
damn.
no, no. That's not how that works.
He was there the whole time, right? And so when he came back, completely different dude, damn near on cloud nine, right? And he did accidentally take a couple things, but they were simple things that could be forgiven, right? Easily so. Especially since he didn't mean to ingest them; they were in the food. So there's that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, and so I was able to dismiss it as just a case of being a dumbass, right? That was it. But he came back, totally different dude, and on top of that, he gained a certain confidence and a certain type of candor with himself is
Yeah.
what I would describe it as,
I, yeah, yeah.
right?
I get.
So yeah.
Oh, give me a sec.
So yeah, he had a good time. He had a very good time. And then about 7 years ish later, it was about no.
All right, yo, sorry, I'm back. My mom gave me a call. All right, what's
Okay.
up?
Well, anyway, funny
It's
thing
about my grandpa.
is that some years later, he ended up
Yeah.
making his own little scene there at Burning Man.
Oh.
He got
Uh-oh.
himself, he built himself shit and everything for it. It was wonderful. I love it. But anyway,
No, I can respect people who are like that because you know what? You know what you want. You know what you're there for.
my thing,
But
right, is honesty,
I just,
right? As long as you're
yeah,
honest, you're good.
you know, I could sit there and say, oh yeah, I'm being 100% honest. That I could just do that and be all but I just can't. I there it got to be something like I don't know. I get attached to people. You know,
Mm.
I'd rather they're it feels undeserved. You know,
Which part?
if I didn't
You
have to.
attaching to somebody, or somebody being the subject of your attachment?
I think that if at an event like that, it doesn't really matter because people are there for what they're there for, so it's all surface level, right? There's no deeper interconnectivity.
Some
But
people
I
are
would
every single year veterans.
sure that doesn't
And every time you see them, it's like there's been no time at all that passed. And it's like, yo, by the way, these pomegranates are great. I swear to God, it's exactly like that.
okay, yeah, but like
But
you
yeah, it's
I think you can understand where I'm coming from this.
what you're trying to speak of is of the shallowness
Of the
of
whole event.
the transient participants is what I would say, right?
Well, yeah,
Because
I
there's
don't.
that element to it. So yes, part of it is most certainly
Yeah.
surface level.
Well, the reason I started talking to the Frenchie was to, you know, whack the worm, as it were. But it spiraled out of hand rather quickly, to say
Mm,
the least.
that escalated
But
quick.
oh yeah, it did. The first day I'm like, okay, we got it set up. We're lined up. We are locked in. We are focused up. Second day, everything went according to plan. There were some warning signs I should have caught on. Third day, we were in too deep to pull out Jarvis. Unfortunately, but I really should have noticed. Yeah, looking back on it, like, cause after the stream last night, I decided let's give him one fair chance instead of just dismissing everything offhandedly. Because you know, if I could describe what I was feeling, it was like I finally get everything I wanted. I did it.
And you're getting shit
I
on for it.
yeah, and everyone's like, well, because I talked to some of my other friends, and they were all saying the same thing. I'm like, this is just what you guys did before.
Everyone's
Now that
ganging
I
up
finally
on
get
me.
something,
Why?
yeah, I'm like, why is this such a bad thing, guys? Like, maybe this is where I want to be. Maybe I'm happy.
Why is the gang not ganging like I want to gang?
Well, yeah, it's like, okay, well, you say this is negative. You say this is negative, and she was all like, well, ignore them. And I'm like, okay.
It's how cult leaders recruit.
Yeah, I guess. Though it was in those in those last couple of messages from her, I guess I don't to kind of circle around to the start of it, I guess. When she finally like just I don't even know if she took the mask off because I don't know. It felt like punching a well, like a defenseless person.
It
Like
wasn't
there's
so
no
much. It wasn't so much a mask as she convinced you to put on some glasses.
Yeah, well, she was just like, "Why are you being so mean to me?" And I just kept
Oh,
going,
the
and I'm just like,
gaslighting,
and then she's like,
the
the final,
projection.
F you, and then she said my name, and I'm just like, that that broke me. Something as simple as that. She took back everything she said, and she was just like, all those nice things. I don't know. It that yeah yeah.
If someone truly believes something about you,
Once the
they will never take back anything they've said.
Yeah, it's also the fact that I guess the biggest warning sign was, I kept saying, I love you and all that and blah 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 blah.
Oh,
And
buddy,
she's
that
like,
that feeling of puppy love.
yeah, and she was like, well, I can't say that I do because I don't know what it is. And I'm like, well, it's pretty obvious. I said I'd be willing to fly halfway across the world for you, and you were like, well, I'd do the same for you. And I'm like, well, isn't that what that is? But then she was like, I can't feel it in my heart for anyone. And I'm just like, that should have been the the big red flag.
She told you the
But
truth right there.
yeah, I didn't, I guess I thought she was just,
But it was a lure of truth, inviting you in.
yeah, she was being truthful, but it was also, I guess, a challenge to me, it felt.
It was the worm on the hook.
Well, yeah, because the way she said it was like, well, this could change.
Of course.
I don't know. I think I'm
That door
gaslighting
was
myself
open the
currently.
whole time, even when it was closed.
Well, at first she was like, you're too young for me, and I'm like, that's probably fair, but I spit my game, and it felt too good to be true, almost. Um, I'm not particularly attractive by most conventional standards, uh, by a lot of people, and you know, it it did feel a little too good, but I did all the preliminary checks, so wasn't an alt account, wasn't anything fake. Was constantly getting updates on their stories, had different followers, different messages going on. So I knew it was real to some extent. There was a real person behind there. But
There was a real presence, but it had put on a different skin.
yeah, I'm just wondering what she could have said behind my back currently to
You
everyone.
name
She pretty
it.
much has, well,
And I
let's just say
guarantee it.
I was not I was not gifted with the most extensive of features. So, make all the
Well,
jokes you want,
neither am I.
is
I'm
what it
actually
is.
average all
Yeah.
the way around.
A little below on this end, but yeah. Specificities, specificities.
I'm just.
Yeah, I can assume she said probably everything under the sun.
You can
I
find
know
it.
I can never show my face on that server again, but
Well,
lest I be hunted down.
what kind of server was it again?
Uh, I'll just say it because I don't really care. It was a French ASMR server.
Oh, okay.
It. I guess you expect to see those kind of women on there. That's why it was on there. But
Well, that's part of it. Yeah, it's kind of the expectation.
yeah, yeah. I was on there because I actually like the guy who does the ASMR channel. It helps me sleep. I do quite like it. It calms. It's pretty calming actually. If you haven't tried it.
E girls gonna eagle. You know what my ASMR is?
Well, no, that wasn't an e-girl. That's... Oh, well.
Hey, what's up,
Salutations.
JD? How you doing? But
JD, you'd be disappointed in me currently if you hadn't heard
I
the
don't
past.
know. I don't know if they were watching the stream.
I don't think they were, but this stream's been on since 8 and it's now 10. So if you've missed the past 2 hours of the
I
stream,
think I was
were you watching?
Okay, I refreshed everything. But yeah,
no, I just got home from work.
oh,
Oh,
okay.
well, don't watch it, please. You would be shocked to know it in fact did not work.
He wouldn't be.
Shocker.
He wouldn't
Yeah.
be. But no,
Yeah.
what was I gonna say
God,
before?
what we were talking
Shit.
about? I can rewind the stream. Hold on. We can figure this out. Jarvis analyze.
I shall be silent as you do so. Actually, I gotta get some
Rewind.
water. I gotta get some water real quick. I'll be right back. Yo necesito tomar.
I'll just say it. Oh, man, he's gone. All right, well. All right, I got it, Badger. I got what we were doing beforehand. Welcome back.
I think
Your mic's like kind of working.
Anyway, so what was it?
The ASMR, and then you were like, I was like, I like it, and you're like, my ASMR is, and then you cut off.
Oh yeah, my ASMR is some stuff from when I've gone overseas. Successful missions and listening to the consolidated recordings of them.
To each their own, am I right?
Well, I think it's just
You
in the
guys hear me?
blood. Yeah, we can hear you. But yeah, I just think it's in the blood because my family has been,
okay, cool.
ending other humans in some capacity for eternity. My bloodline goes
Well,
way back.
If I got some more stories. If you want some content about stuff my family's done, I got ton, dude. We could genuinely create a whole series of just stuff. By literally, I can go back to, because see, my grandma was a woman who had a lot of time on her hands. She mapped our entire family's history.
Mhm.
Like, she managed to figure out what stuff had been burned in the Chicago fires. She can date us back to like Gallowglass clans in Ireland and Scotland, where we come from. Like way back. Fought on both sides of the Civil War, showed up before the Revolutionary War, some showed up later during the Potato Famine. Pretty much been everywhere and everywhere, all at once. You know, my great uncle was a, you know. Anyways.
Yeah. That's my
Healing request tonight, Badger.
I was going to, but there was nobody at the beginning of the stream, and then he and I have been doing the basically like a call-in show the whole time. You can throw
basically,
some into the
up.
We're pretty close to it, yeah. We're basically oh wait, no, you could still throw something into Discord. After I wrap up here with Fire Mango,
I'm in Discord right now.
We could try to do it fast. As long as it's not copyright, we should be okay. But But yeah, no,
Yeah,
Fire
basically any
Mango,
I
music.
think you should be good with this. I don't think it's copywritten.
Any music is probably not safe, unfortunately. Basically, that has to be a dedicated video.
oh yeah, can't do it live. Can't do any music live unless it's like White Bat Audio or one of the
The specific copyright-free ones.
basically it has to be so it can't just be that they put in their description this is copyright free. Otherwise that by itself doesn't count. It has to say that. It also has to link to them where they have some kind of page or other link that proofs it right professionally. And it has to also be they have to have a special disclaimers. It's like three times. It's either three times or four times counted essentially. So it's a lot, a huge amount. But yeah, I can get to that tomorrow when I do a bunch of uploads.
Yeah, you don't have to do all of mine at once. I would not recommend doing that. I just threw
That'd
a
be
bunch
awesome.
in there.
Too squeezy. I'll get to it tomorrow then when I do other uploads. No,
Yeah.
but yeah, Fire Mango.
Yeah, I
You've
think
had a
this kind
hell
of
of a learning
concludes my story.
experience.
Yeah, you could hit me with the fattest "I told you so."
Well,
What about like anything from the Fat Electrician?
Fat Electrician, I'm pretty sure is good. Yeah, because it's his original content, but he doesn't do he doesn't do any copyright or nothing like that. Period. He doesn't even do DMCA's.
Yeah, he's a fan of reactors.
Yeah, he's a good he's a great kid.
I'm gonna put some of his videos in the Discord as well.
That reminds me, there's a Count Dankula somewhere. Somebody requested, I believe.
Oh yeah, that was a minute ago.
Was it you?
No, that was not me. That was
The
I
other
think that was
JD?
like that might have been SLC. Also, why are there so many lieutenant
It wasn't
colonels?
me.
I just gave it to everybody because there's so few of us.
I guess so. I mean, you should be careful about that though, giving the keys to literally everyone for now. But anyways.
Thankfully, it's not the full keys, though, isn't it? It's
Technically,
kind of
I think Commander Wolf actually had the Count Dankula one,
yeah, that would make sense.
if I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah, that would
Yo,
make
that is a
sense.
huge spider.
What is the
Holy.
maximum length of video?
You talking about for requests in general or for tonight's stream?
For like tonight's stream and stuff, because there's a couple of Fat Electrician videos I was gonna send.
Well, the issue is time zones, because aren't you? I know you're 3 hours ahead of me. Isn't it like 1 a.m. for you, Badger?
Where's my? Actually, it's midnight.
It's 11 o'clock for me.
It's midnight.
It's 10 for me. Okay, so 10, 11, and 12. Got all the time zones. Am I right?
Good times, huh?
But
Right.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
punny.
your purge didn't work out, SLC. You said you would pray for it to work. It did not. She was lying.
Hey,
Watch this.
I tried, man.
Yeah, you gotta. You know what I gotta say? You gotta watch the stream to find it out.
Yes,
Gotta
sir.
get that real YouTube reaction. I might just take that and throw that on my channel because I
But you
used to have a
specifically
following.
told me not to.
No, but I just told you to. Yeah, this is what she was like. But then she would.
But
you
now
know,
you're
she had-
conflicting.
yeah, but she had a rocking pair of, so that was a shame. Anyways, my loss aside.
That's why the guys that have usually what's called the midwives always seem to be winning at life.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah. That's a crazy phenomenon, isn't it?
There's a short 3-minute video in the chat.
Too easy. Let's
All right. I'm gonna take my formal leave here. Because actually, I don't watch a ton of reaction content on YouTube. I'm gonna be honest. Because if I want to watch something, I'll just watch it, or I'll watch like rap breakdowns. I'm generally not a huge fan of your style of videos, Badger, but I do watch the ones I recommend. At the very least.
Depends on which style of what type of video you're talking about. So I do a lot of different stuff.
Well, yeah, but like generally, I'll just watch what I recommend, or I'll pop down on it and I'll run it in the background, just so I can get a view. I won't like. That's just not like what I do. That's not how we roll, fool.
So you're talking more about like analytical or
Each their own.
or something like that, right?
Yeah, like I used to watch all your BattleTech stuff and all that, but you don't do that anymore.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's right.
that's how I found your channel, and then a day later, I watched your 8-hour homeless stream while you were packing up. Oh, and then this dude decides to. I knew more stuff about his life than Dahila did. I was answering questions for her because apparently you left out gaps.
That's
You did not leave
right.
anything out. You were absolutely sloshed that stream. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Plus, I don't talk too much about myself unless it's some relevant thing.
Yeah, but I was just like, you were just like, you know what? Sit down, youngster. I'm gonna tell you how we got here. I'm just like,
Oh,
bet.
yeah.
I got nothing better to do. You were like, so my information may go to someone useful, and then he spills everything. I know more about this guy's life than I do about a lot of other people's.
Damn.
More than some of my close friends.
Well, hopefully it's a good cautionary tale.
Well, we see how that worked out, didn't we?
That's right. You're right.
Well, I guess you didn't really have. No, you did.
I will
You
be
did.
right. I'm gonna go have a quick cigarette.
Too easy.
All right. But I guess that one was specifically for wives, in your cautionary tale, Badger. You said specifically don't get married.
Mm-hmm.
So I did nothing wrong, technically.
You're right. You just took the first step towards that being something you would have ended up
Yeah,
doing
exactly.
wrong.
Baby steps.
And the baby step is what saved you.
Yep.
If you would like to play the video, I'm watching YouTube. I'm watching the channel on my phone.
Too easy.
okay.
I'm about to
Alright.
I'm about to link it in the description, so I give him
Yeah,
credit.
I'll pop off so my voice isn't interrupting the video every 30 seconds.
No,
I
don't
will
worry
see
about
y'all. Well, I'm gonna go get some beverages and hit the hay because I've not slept in since I started talking to her. It's gonna be a long night.
I
Anyways,
recommend you do a bunch of stretches before you hit the sack.
why is that?
It'll help greatly when you
Will it?
finally get into bed.
I kind of, I mean, my back feels like I'm 80 anyways. It doesn't really help.
Just stretches, just forward, backwards, side to side, legs, and all. Just take your time, stretch yourself out, work out the kinks, And then when you finally lay down,
Yeah, I worked those out. So that got me.
all right, it's gonna be
Yeah.
quite the experience. Trust me. And if
I
anything,
don't
quite
think
the
I will.
satisfying one.
I think we're good on that
All
regard.
right, well, I tried.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, I see. I'm actively choosing to go against you on this one. I know what happens when I did on the last one. Always bet on black, everyone. This is I can just say it because your streamer mode's off. This is Fire Mango. Formerly Shrub64 on YouTube. Formerly used to stream on Twitch every day. Formerly had a face cam, but not anymore. I can call myself the Fool or the Joker, depending on which card game you play. And yeah, that'll be all for me tonight.
Too squeezy. Bye, bub. All right. Once I'm done linking this in description. Oh, turns out I gotta open another tab for that one. To do that. All white. All white. Content. Where's my live stream? And then edit this description box. Original content. The Fat Electrician. Wait. Reviews. DOC. Okay. The Fat Electrician reviews. DOC. And then link it here. Give him his credit where credit is due. Always give due credit. Alright, so from Mr. JD, who's in the chat right now, the Fat Electrician. The Fat Electrician reviews Doc. Oh, buddy, this should this should be a good one. Alright, let's go. I think I'm ready, but we'll see.
Talked about grunts, both Marine and Army, but we did not talk about the other member in their squad. We're talking about Doc. We're talking about the only guy on the battlefield that can both stack and unstack bodies. While a lot of people just think of him as a Motrin vending machine, they'll tell you to drink enough earth sauce. But in reality, Doc's a pretty bad motherfucker.
Telling you to drink earth sauce. The shit he comes up with, I swear to God. So in every unit there's a Joker, right? And then there's the guy who is seriously, and I mean the word seriously as in its direct descriptor, funny. Not seriously funny as in like up to funny, but seriously funny. That's the Fat Electrician. I swear to God.
I don't know if you've ever seen a grunt in person or in action, but they are fucking enormous. And these are the only guys rated to pick them up and carry them home. Doc also has to keep up with the grunts while carrying an extra 35-pound medical bag. It's for reasons like this that Doc is one of the only other MOSs besides infantry that is granted non-POG status. Or POG, however you want to say it.
Pog. Pog. all I hear is that Gen Z freaking use of a different type of descriptor acronym, POG. When I hear POG, that's all my brain goes to. It's POG, people. POG. Proper grunt speak.
Now, a lot of people don't know this, but this guy's actually the most dangerous motherfucker on the battlefield. Here's why. I said in my previous videos that grunts just don't give a fuck. That was kind of a lie. They do have one fuck to give, and that is for Doc.
100%. 100%. If Doc's in trouble at all, whatever is the trouble is dying now, so that he's not troubled anymore. Oh shit, Doc's in a hole and there's shots everywhere. All right, it's time to lay out more ammo than we ever have before. Doc's pinned down from where and by what? Make it unso now. It's kind of like those memes where there's like this. Wait, I think it's a Warhammer 40K one, where it's I forget the name of the rocket launchers, the missile launching system that has a one giant fuck off missile on it, and there's a picture and there's a commander who's he's got his sword in the air and he's pointing that direction, and there's the fucking 10-story missile system above him, and he's like, "You see that direction?" And the guy's, the gunner's like, "Yes, my lord." And he's like, "I don't want to." And then he says, "Yes, my lord."
There is absolutely no way on the planet to get unalive faster than to fuck with a grunt's medic. You see, there's a special relationship between a grunt and his medic. Doc's a guy that'll give you an IV so you're not hungover in the morning. Doc's a guy that'll pick a tick out of your taint with his fucking teeth if he has to. But most importantly, when the shit hits the fan, Doc is these guys' only lifeline. When you attack Doc, you not only attack a member of their squad, you attack the entire squad as a whole at the same fucking time.
Yep. Because just like an IV is connected to an artery that's connected to multiple different branches of capillaries and veins and everything, Doc's connected to the whole damn freaking unit. Pull on that string at your peril. Although I've known some incredible medics in my time, and corpsmen a few times when I worked with anybody from the Navy or the Navy's ass-kicking branch, the Marine Corps, or their other ground force, the SEALs, or SWIC. Well, and their other, I'm going to stop getting into all of that. But anyway, I've known quite a few in my time. And overall, they are quite the breed. And I've also met some that were former infantrymen who also wanted to be extra. I think I used that correctly. They wanted to be extra. And so they became medics and went directly from infantrymen to a whiskey. Well, those guys, they'll just take the syringe, throw it at you from across the room, and dart you with it, and still be sticking the IV into somebody else with the other hand. That's a bit different right there.
You see, if you take a pop shot at a squad of grunts, they'll return fire. But if you take a pop shot and it lands anywhere fucking near Doc, things are going to escalate very quickly. Grenades will immediately get blooped. Belts are getting run through the 240. And before you realize that you even made a fucking mistake, you are already getting flanked. What's about to happen to you will get brought up the next time Geneva has a convention. Times like this is when...
That's absolute facts. That is facts. There was an incident near a place called Lashkar Gah in Afghanistan. And what had happened is that there just so happened to be both a Marine unit and an Army unit operating in the same place at the same time, collaborating, a little bit for manpower's sake and to have double the amount of ass kicking to give. And they were supposed to be doing a KLE, right, to figure out what the local stuff was going on. We were in the AO as well. We were basically in the same place a bit, but just a little bit far removed. And
I'm back.
oh, okay, nice to hear you, Beck. And well, what happened is that the corpsman and the medic, right, together were doing a little bit of goodwill stuff. When somebody put someone up to something to shoot at the fucking medics. And they winged them both. Thankfully, they didn't get actually properly wounded, but they both got winged, right? The corpsman got one right clean through, like, the outer edge of his bicep. And then the medic, right, had one that skipped, like, right through his calf. Now, they didn't get fucked up, thankfully. And the medic, he was limping, but he was good. It was a clean thing. War crimes were prevented that day. Because the Marines, right, and the soldiers decided all bets were off with the rest of the village. So they began clearing from house to house. They did an inner and outer cordon. They locked the fucker down, and they were shoving everybody into the fucking courtyard. Every house, every building, every structure. It was looking like they may or may not have been gearing up for a little bit of shenanigans, leading to war crimes. From where we were sitting, we were like, oh, fuck. No! So we rushed down there after calling up and being like, yo, get some officers on the fucking horn. Some shit's about to happen. Right? So, and it wasn't so much a break off for us because we were in between missions. So we were just on, a mountaintop not too far away. Set up our own little spot, and it was just over the village, not too far. So myself, right? Our medical guy, okay, which I call him a medical guy because, well, he was the funny type of medical guy. Anyway, our marksman and team sergeant all went right down because we were like, we gotta do what we can to whatever this is doesn't look good. Right? So we get down there, and at the end of it, it was not too terribly far away from an incident because, right, some of the Marines freaked out, but the soldiers more so, and they came very close to just taking this random one guy who happened to have a rifle in his house. This was in between a time where commanders tried to disarm the populace to make it better, but that made them susceptible to the Taliban, so they kind of stopped doing that as much. And they thought it was him, so they were trying to bring him out back, right? And the officers were having a hard time with it. And some of the NCOs were onside, some were offside. We got down there, right? And thank God they were looking at us like fucking gods descended from the mountains, essentially. Thank God. And I'm happy most of them were cherries, because the shock and awe of our arrival was thankfully enough to mitigate a lot of shit. We got down there, we blasted through all the bullshit, and we're like, all right, well, look, we're going to figure this out. Y'all need to stick with your cordon. Some of y'all need to allow people to go back to their frickin' homes. And y'all that were participating in what was about to happen, you're going outside the fucking village. Right? Medical personnel were fine. Okay, wounded, but not dead, and not completely and totally screwed up. And it turned out that on the opposite side of the village, right down the road, because they stopped in the central pathway, all the way down, there actually were Taliban, but they were outside the village. So, at the end of the day, it wasn't who they thought it was. They were about to commit war crimes because their medic and their corpsman got hit. When it turned out that it was actual Taliban that put someone from another village up to it to go shoot at him. And we found the guy later, of course, after we found the trail. And then it turned out we had Taliban waiting on the other side of shit for us to do some shit. And then to come in and try to be the rescuers and saviors of the village from the evil Americans. Right? That could have been so terribly fucking bad. Like, and from where we were, oh shit!
You reacted to soldier ODs on meth by a Fed electrician unit?
What's up?
Have you reacted to the video where the soldier ODs on meth becomes unkillable?
Yes, it was. I'm trying to remember his name, but yeah, it was the Finnish soldier, and he he ran through Russians, around Russians, and away from and toward Russians, like for quite the while. Yeah, and he took the whole entire unit's supply of meth. That sounds like a great time. And it was professional grade shit too, so you know it was good. Great time, great time. Dude, the picture of his face just it's a good one.
Yeah,
It's a
that
good
was a
one.
great picture.
It was a good one. I mean, man. Just perfect. Just perfect. Well, anyway, yes, I've seen that one. In a few different forms.
Have you done the one with the most gangster politician, Cassius Clay?
I have not yet, no. I've seen it notified because I'm now subscribed to the Fat Electrician. But I avoid seeing them all on purpose because I don't want it to be I don't want to be redoing something and it not be genuine. Unless I have foreknowledge of it before I know what it is I'm going to be seeing, then I just can't help that one.
Two more. That's where I'll leave it for now.
Too easy, although I think after this one I'm probably gonna be drowned out pretty soon here. So I'll have to save those either for tomorrow or
All right, sounds good. I'll look forward to it tomorrow.
it's either tomorrow. Let's see. For tomorrow I got quite a bit for tomorrow. It's going to be half re-uploads and half requests. So I may or may not do a live stream tomorrow, yeah. Depending on how I'm feeling tomorrow. I'm slowly getting back into being able to physically work on myself, and it's incredibly taxing nowadays. God, do I miss certain ages of my life in certain ways. That being said, let's continue. The Fat Electrician looks like he's about to tell us something else.
These become deadly weapons.
Oh yeah. There was a ranger who actually had an MRE spoon on his kit. He was doing a mission, I forget where. I don't even know if it's been reported yet or if anybody's like put up something about it. But you know, he was I believe he was in, it was either third or 75th. One of the two. And he landed, they basically got ambushed, and they were in a very close quarters ambush. It's called a near ambush, but you know, the enemy was basically right there on them, and it was dark as hell and everything. And so he's rolling around with this dude, and he had nothing else at the moment, so he popped off the freaking MRE spoon and started stabbing the guy in the neck with it or something. I remember hearing that story and being like, well, damn, son, I didn't think of that. So no shit, MRE spoons can be deadly. Who would have thunk? That's a hell of a story to have heard by somebody. I bet if he I don't know if he's retired now or not. If he's retired or transitioned or something, but I bet you anything that once they compile enough stories from the war, his is going to be named amongst them. It's going to be glorious. Oh shit. Oh hey, you know that old man that you know, lives down the road? He once killed a guy with a spoon, you know?
Guess what I'm trying to say is if you ever need to point a gun at the infantry, do not point it at the guy with the big backpack first. Because when you pull that trigger, you sign the most certain death wish in existence. Even a man walking down death row for the last time has a better shot at making it through that than you do. Because he at least has a chance that God will perform a miracle. You don't. Because God loves the infantry.
Indeed. Follow me, follow me. I am the Queen of Battle. Man, those are great days.
That's why he sent the battlefield angel to protect them. In conclusion, whether you hear these guys yelling hoo-ah or hoo-rah, it would behoove you not to fuck with their medic. If you enjoyed this video and would like to buy me a beer about it, there is a link in my bio. There is also a link in my bio to my YouTube channel. These videos seem to get taken down on TikTok. I will re-upload them there, and hopefully they'll stay there forever. Thank you for your service.
Of course. In my case, literal service, but yeah. Well, there we go, from the Fat Electrician. He reviews Doc. Medic! Doc! It's a good time. It's a good time. Man.
I like all of his reviews of the military MOS jobs.
He does good on all of them. Like I said before, he is a seriously funny guy.
If my history teacher presented the way Nick does, I would have learned a lot more in school.
I think a lot of people would have. Trouble is, the vast majority who now go into teaching, they don't want to teach. It's not there for their
They
capacity.
just want the money.
Oh, no, because, they don't make that good of money, really. They have another motivation. They get to, have an effect on other people's children. And not in a good one. Unfortunately for that. Well, anyway, no depressing topics for the moment. That one was great. That one was great. And he's right. He's absolutely right. The only way to win after you've touched Doc is you better kill everybody. That being said, this is great. And you said you just got off work, what, like an hour ago, JD?
Think about that.
Okay. So, about an hour ago. Okay, that makes sense. I get you. Man, that sucks. Too bad time is what it is. However, I'm going to try to get to a bunch of stuff tomorrow, and then, I'm thinking, well, should I try to stream earlier or later tomorrow? Because so far, the analytics on my
Tomorrow
channel are
off,
well open.
so whenever works for me.
Oh, okay. Fire Mingo should be not doing much of shit either. I think Commander Wolf will be working, though. Well, anyway.
I just have a prior engagement at like 9 o'clock my time.
Is that a 9 a.m., 9 p.m., or
PM.
p.m.? Okay. Hot date?
No MC stuff for GTA Online.
Ah, okay, I get you. Well, in a way, if you consider some of the models in that game a hot date, I mean, it still counts, I think. I've seen some of those clips, and it's wild.
Like real tits, not fake.
I was like, holy shit, dude. Oh, damn, no wonder everybody wants the game. Oh, shit. Well, any schmoozle, it has been fun the short time. And And I look forward to tomorrow if I'm able to get enough out of the
Oh,
way.
most definitely. I will see you tomorrow in some fashion.
Indeed, you will, good sir. You have a good night, and I'm gonna close out the stream here pretty quickly.
Have a good night, Badger. Talk to you tomorrow.
Talk to you tomorrow, bub. All right, we got that done, and for everybody else, thank you for joining me. That being said, you know what time it is. Be good. Be safe. Make your life for yourselves. Don't compromise safety and security for nobody and nothing. Death and disaster is only a second away. Do what you can today. And I'll see y'all in the next one. I am Badger 7 Actual, the formerly homeless veteran. BlastCapBadger. Out.